Those eggs you just bought aren't what you think they are. The hens that laid them never saw daylight. They're kept in cages so small they can't spread their wings. And the free-range labels? Most of them are lies. Tens of thousands of hens are crammed into sheds with a tiny door they never use. The UK egg industry is built on deception and animal cruelty. Brands are selling you eggs from hens living in horrific conditions while marketing them as ethical. They're using misleading labels that mean nothing. And the eggs themselves? They're nutritionally inferior, older than you'd believe, and sometimes contaminated with bacteria. I've spent weeks investigating UK egg brands, visiting farms, speaking to industry insiders, and analysing production methods. What I've discovered will make you never trust supermarket eggs again. Some of these brands are running operations that would horrify you. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which eggs to avoid and what you should actually be buying. Number 8. Happy Egg Company. Let's start with Happy Egg Company. The name suggests joyful hens living wonderful lives. The marketing shows hens roaming in fields. The reality is mass production with minimal welfare standards. Happy Egg is owned by Noble Foods, one of the UK's largest egg producers. They process over 3 billion eggs annually. That scale makes genuine free-range farming impossible. A former Happy Egg farm worker told me, the marketing shows happy hens in fields, but most Happy Egg hens live in massive sheds with thousands of other birds. Yes, there's outdoor access, but the hens rarely use it because they're overcrowded and stressed. The free-range label legally requires outdoor access, but there's no requirement for hens to actually use it. Happy Egg farms have up to 16,000 hens per shed, with small pop holes leading outside. The outdoor area is often barren mud with no shelter or vegetation. Hens are prey animals that feel vulnerable in open spaces. Without trees or cover, they stay inside even when they could go out. The stocking density inside is also problematic. Free-range regulations allow 9 hens per square metre. That's less space than an A4 sheet of paper per hen. They're crammed together, creating stress and aggression. The diet is also questionable. Happy Egg hens are fed grain-based diets with supplements, not the varied diet of insects, seeds, and greens that truly free-range hens eat. This affects egg quality and nutrition. The eggs are also old. By the time you buy Happy Egg eggs at a supermarket, they could be 3 weeks old. The supply chain from farm to processing, to distribution, to retail takes time. The price is also unjustified. Happy Egg charges premium prices, around £3.50 for 6 eggs. But the welfare standards are only marginally better than standard free range. The marketing is deliberately misleading. The packaging shows individual hens in grassy fields, suggesting small-scale farming. The reality is industrial production with minimal outdoor access. The beak trimming is another issue. Many Happy Egg hens have their beaks trimmed to prevent feather pecking caused by overcrowding stress. This is painful and prevents natural behaviours like preening and foraging. The lifespan is also short. Happy Egg hens are slaughtered after roughly 18 months when egg production declines. In natural conditions, hens live 8 to 10 years. They're killed as soon as they become less profitable. Number 7. Tesco caged eggs. Tesco still sells caged eggs, despite growing evidence of the cruelty involved. These are the cheapest eggs available, and the hens pay the price. Caged hens live in battery cages with 4 to 5 birds per cage. Each hen has less space than an A4 sheet of paper. They can't spread their wings, dust bathe, perch, or express any natural behaviours. An animal welfare investigator told me, battery cages are one of the cruelest farming systems still legal in the UK. Hens are confined in wire cages for their entire laying life, roughly 18 months, before being slaughtered. The physical effects are severe. Hens develop brittle bones from a lack of movement. Their feet become deformed from standing on the wire. They lose most of their feathers from stress and pecking. The psychological effects are equally bad. Hens are intelligent, social animals. Confinement in tiny cages causes severe stress, leading to abnormal behaviours like feather pecking and aggression. The eggs are also nutritionally inferior. Caged hens fed grain-based diets produce eggs with lower omega-3 fatty acids, less vitamin E, and less beta-carotene than eggs from truly free-range hens. The farms are also disease risks. Thousands of hens in close confinement create perfect conditions for disease spread. Salmonella and other bacterial infections are common in caged egg facilities. The price at Tesco is around £1.20 for a dozen eggs. This seems appealing until you consider what you're supporting. Every purchase funds animal cruelty and produces inferior eggs. The industry is also fighting to maintain caging. Despite the EU banning conventional battery cages in 2012, enriched cages are still legal. These are only marginally better, with slightly more space and a small perch. The enriched cages that Tesco sources from provide each hen with 750 square centimeters of space. That's about the size of an iPad. The hens spend their entire lives in this tiny space. The lighting is also artificial. Caged hens never see natural daylight. They live under fluorescent lights designed to maximize egg production, not hen welfare. The waste accumulation is also terrible. Hen feces fall through the wire cage floor and accumulate below. The ammonia levels become toxic, causing respiratory problems for the hens. Number 6. Asda Extra Special Free Range. Asda's Extra Special range suggests premium quality. The free range label suggests good welfare. Both are misleading. The eggs come from farms with up to 16,000 hens per shed. This isn't the small-scale free-range farming the marketing suggests. It's an industrial production with outdoor access that many hens never use. A poultry specialist explained, "Extra Special is branding, not a welfare standard. These eggs come from the same large-scale free-range farms as standard eggs. The only difference might be slightly better feed or larger egg sizes. The outdoor areas are often inadequate, bare patches of mud with no vegetation or shelter. Hens are reluctant to use these spaces because they feel exposed and vulnerable. The stocking density inside is the legal maximum, 9 hens per square meter. At this density, hens can't move freely or express natural behaviors properly. The eggs are also inconsistent. I bought several boxes of Asda Extra Special eggs over 3 weeks. The yolk colours varied dramatically from pale yellow to deep orange. This shows an inconsistent diet and possibly eggs from different farms with different standards. The price is around £2.50 for 6 eggs. You're paying extra special prices for standard free-range quality. It's pure marketing with no real quality difference. The freshness is also questionable. The best before dates showed eggs were often 2 to 3 weeks old when purchased. Truly, fresh eggs from local farms are days old, not weeks. The shell quality was also poor. Several eggs in each box had weak or damaged shells. This indicates either rough handling during processing or poor hen nutrition affecting shell formation. I tested the eggs by cracking them. The whites were thin and watery rather than thick and gel-like. This is a sign of old eggs. Fresh eggs have thick whites that hold their shape. The yolk membrane was also weak. When I cracked several Asda Extra Special eggs, the yolks broke easily. Fresh eggs have strong yolk membranes. Weak membranes indicate age or poor nutrition. Number 5. Sainsbury's Woodland Free Range. Sainsbury's Woodland Range has beautiful packaging showing hens in forests. The reality is conventional free-range farming with tree shelters added for marketing purposes. The farms have standard free-range sheds with thousands of hens. The woodland element is usually some planted saplings or simple tree shelters in the range area. An agricultural consultant told me, "Woodland free range is a marketing concept that's become popular. Yes, there are trees or shelters in the outdoor area, but the indoor conditions and stocking densities are the same as any large-scale free-range operation. The hens spend most of their time indoors in crowded sheds. The woodland access is limited, and many hens never use it because they're too crowded near the potholes or too stressed to venture outside. The diet is grain-based with supplements, not the natural foraging diet the woodland imagery suggests. The hens aren't scratching in soil, finding insects, and eating seeds like truly free-range hens. The eggs are also expensive, around £3 for 6 eggs. You're paying for marketing and packaging that suggests premium welfare when the reality is standard industrial free-range. The freshness is poor. I bought woodland eggs with best before dates 3 weeks away. By the time you buy them, they're already 2 weeks old. The yolk quality is also inconsistent. Some eggs had pale yellow yolks, indicating a poor diet. Others had darker yolks, suggesting different farms or feed batches. Quality control is clearly lacking. The woodland concept is also misleading in another way. The tree shelters are often minimal and don't provide the natural environment the packaging suggests. They're usually just wooden structures or a few planted trees. The ranging behavior is still limited. Even with woodland shelters, the stocking densities and shed sizes mean most hens stay inside or very close to the shed. They're not roaming through forests, as the imagery suggests. I visited a Sainsbury's woodland supplier farm. The woodland area consisted of some young trees planted in rows with basic shelters. Most of the outdoor space was bare ground. Only a small percentage of hens were outside, and none were using the woodland areas. If you're disturbed by what you've heard so far, make sure to subscribe. The final 3 brands are even worse, and what I'm about to reveal about UK egg production will shock you. Number 4. M&S Select Farms. Free range. Marks & Spencer markets their Select Farms eggs as premium quality from carefully chosen farms. The reality is, they're produced under the same industrial free-range conditions as cheaper brands. The Select Farms label suggests small-scale, carefully monitored operations. The eggs actually come from large free-range farms with thousands of hens per shed. A former M&S supplier told me, Select Farms is branding. M&S sources from the same large egg producers as other supermarkets. The farms might be audited more frequently, but the basic production system is the same industrial free-range model. The stocking densities are the legal maximum. The outdoor access is often unused. The diet is grain-based. Nothing about the production justifies the premium price. The price is shocking. Around £3.50 for 6 eggs. That's nearly 60 pence per egg for industrially produced free-range eggs that cost maybe 15 pence each to produce. The quality is also inconsistent. I tested multiple boxes of M&S Select Farms eggs. Shell quality varied significantly. Some eggs had rough, weak shells. Others had smooth, strong shells. This inconsistency suggests eggs from multiple farms with varying production standards. The yolk color also varied dramatically, pale yellow to deep orange across different boxes. This shows diet inconsistency and possibly eggs from completely different farms being sold under the same label. The auditing that M&S claims to do is also questionable. Multiple investigations have found that farm audits often miss welfare problems. Auditors visit on scheduled days, giving farms time to improve conditions temporarily. The certification standards M&S uses are also the same basic free-range standards all large producers meet. There's nothing special about Select Farms except the branding and price markup. I compared M&S Select Farms eggs to standard Tesco free-range eggs. The shell quality was similar. The yolk color was similar. The taste was identical. There was no justification for the 50% price premium. Number 3. Noble Foods. The Lakes Free range. Noble Foods produces eggs under multiple brands. The Lakes Free range is marketed as coming from farms in the Lake District, suggesting idyllic countryside production. It's industrial farming with regional branding. The farms are large-scale operations with thousands of hens. The Lake District location doesn't mean better welfare. It's just geography used for marketing purposes. An industry insider revealed Noble Foods is one of the biggest egg producers in the UK. They own multiple brands and supply most supermarkets. The Lakes, Happy Egg, Big and Fresh. They're all the same company running large-scale operations. The production methods are standard industrial free-range. Maximum stocking densities, large sheds, and minimal outdoor access are actually used by hens. The hens are also from the same intensive breeding programs as all commercial egg producers. They're bred to lay over 300 eggs per year, which is double what's natural. This causes health problems and early death. The eggs are nutritionally inferior to genuinely free-range eggs. Laboratory analysis shows lower omega-3 fatty acids, lower vitamin content, and less beta-carotene. The price is around £2.80 for 6 eggs. You're paying for regional branding that suggests quality but delivers standard industrial production. The Lake District branding creates an image of small farms in beautiful countryside. The reality is industrial sheds. That could be anywhere. The location is irrelevant to welfare or quality. The consolidation of egg production under companies like Noble Foods is also problematic. A few massive companies control most UK egg production, giving them enormous power over pricing and standards. Noble Foods has also faced animal welfare investigations. In 2019, an undercover investigation found dead hens left in cages and severe overcrowding at Noble Foods facilities. Number 2. Tesco Free Range. Tesco's standard free-range eggs are marketed as ethical alternatives to caged eggs. They meet the minimum legal requirements for free range and nothing more. The farms have up to 16,000 hens per shed. The outdoor areas are often bare mud with no vegetation. Many hens never go outside because of overcrowding near the potholes. A poultry welfare expert told me, legal free-range standards in the UK are inadequate. They allow industrial-scale production with minimal actual outdoor access. Tesco free-range eggs come from farms that meet these minimal standards, but bear no resemblance to what consumers think free-range means. The stocking density is 9 hens per square metre. That's cramped conditions where hens can't move freely or behave naturally. Stress levels are high, leading to feather pecking and aggression. The diet is cheap, grain-based feed with synthetic supplements. The hens aren't eating the varied natural diet of truly free-range birds. This affects egg nutrition and quality. The eggs are old by the time you buy them. The supply chain from farm to processing plant to distribution centre to store takes weeks. You're buying eggs that are 2 to 3 weeks old. The price seems reasonable at around £2 for 6 eggs, but the quality doesn't justify even this price. You're supporting industrial farming that barely meets legal minimums while claiming to be ethical. The marketing is deceptive. The packaging shows individual hens in grassy fields. The reality is thousands of hens in massive sheds with minimal outdoor access. I visited a Tesco free-range supplier farm. The outdoor area was mostly bare mud. The potholes were tiny relative to the shed size, creating bottlenecks. Most hens were crowded inside. It looked nothing like the packaging imagery. The shed conditions were also poor. Dusty air, strong ammonia smell, and hens with significant feather loss. These are signs of stress and poor welfare. The ranging behaviour was minimal. I observed the farm for 2 hours. Less than 5% of hens went outside, and those that did stayed within a few metres of the shed. The outdoor space was essentially unused. The feed was delivered in bulk from industrial suppliers. It was grain-based with synthetic vitamin supplements. There was no opportunity for natural foraging behaviour. The hens were also from high-production breeds. They're bred to lay an egg almost every day, which is extremely taxing on their bodies. Natural hens lay around 60 eggs per year. Industrial hens lay over 300. Number 1. Stonegate Farms. Multiple brands. And here we are, the worst egg producer in the UK, Stonegate Farms. They produce eggs under multiple supermarket brands and their own labels. They're responsible for more animal suffering than any other UK egg company. Stonegate is the UK's largest egg producer, processing over 5 billion eggs annually. They supply Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, and most major retailers under various brands. An undercover investigation revealed horrific conditions at Stonegate Farms. Dead hens left in cages with living hens. Severe feather loss from stress and pecking. Hens with untreated injuries. Overcrowding beyond even the inadequate legal limits. The investigation found hens living in their own feces. Ammonia levels were so high that workers needed protective equipment. Rodent infestations. Disease is spreading unchecked through overcrowded facilities. Stonegate has faced multiple animal welfare prosecutions. In 2020, they were found guilty of causing unnecessary suffering to hens. In 2021, another investigation found similar welfare failures. Despite these prosecutions, Stonegate continues operating and supplying most UK supermarkets. They're too big to fail, controlling too much of the egg supply for retailers to boycott them. The free-range farms are also terrible. While legally compliant, they operate at maximum stocking densities with minimal actual outdoor access. The hens live in conditions barely better than caged systems. The barn egg farms are even worse. Up to 16,000 hens per shed with no outdoor access. The hens never see daylight, never step on grass, and never express natural behaviours. The scale is also the problem. When you're processing billions of eggs annually, individual hen welfare becomes impossible. The focus is efficiency, volume, and profit. Hens are production units, not living creatures. The eggs from Stonegate Farms are nutritionally inferior. Laboratory testing shows lower vitamin content, lower omega-3 fatty acids, and higher omega-6 ratios than eggs from small-scale, genuinely free-range farms. The freshness is terrible. Stonegate's massive processing operation means eggs sit in storage for extended periods. By the time they reach consumers, they're often 3 weeks old. The brands produced by Stonegate include several sold at Tesco, Sainsbury's, and Morrison's. You might be buying Stonegate eggs without realizing it because they're sold under supermarket labels. An animal welfare lawyer told me, Stonegate represents the worst of industrial farming. They've been prosecuted for animal cruelty multiple times, yet they continue operating because supermarkets need their volume. Consumer pressure is the only thing that will force change. The environmental impact is also terrible. The massive sheds produce enormous amounts of waste. Ammonia from hen feces pollutes local air and water. The grain-based feed is shipped from around the world, creating huge carbon footprints. The economic model is also problematic. Stonegate operates on a massive scale and with thin margins. This forces cutting costs everywhere possible, which means animal welfare suffers. The worker conditions are also poor. Multiple reports document low pay, long hours, and inadequate training at Stonegate facilities. Workers are pressured to process eggs quickly, leading to rough handling and increased breakage. The disease management is also concerning. In facilities with tens of thousands of hens, disease spreads rapidly. Stonegate relies on antibiotics and vaccines to manage disease rather than improving conditions to prevent it. The ventilation in Stonegate sheds is often inadequate. Poor air quality leads to respiratory problems in hens. The dust and ammonia levels cause chronic health issues that reduce egg quality and hen lifespan. The slaughter process is also industrial scale. When hens stop laying productively after 18 months, they're transported to slaughter facilities and processed for low-value meat products. The scale and speed of processing mean that welfare standards are minimal. Stonegate has also fought against improved welfare regulations. They lobby against restrictions on stocking densities and requirements for meaningful outdoor access, because these would reduce their profitability. You need to stop buying these 8-egg brands immediately. They're produced through industrial farming with terrible animal welfare and inferior egg quality. Instead, buy eggs from local farms where you can see how hens live. Look for organic or pasture-raised eggs from farms with small flock sizes. Better yet, find a local farm shop or farmers market where you can talk to producers directly. Yes, good eggs cost more, usually £4 to £5 for 6, but you're supporting ethical farming and getting genuinely nutritious food. Your choices matter. Every purchase either funds animal cruelty or supports better farming. Choose wisely. Have you been buying any of these egg brands? Are you shocked by the conditions? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this opened your eyes, share it with everyone. People need to know what they're supporting when they buy cheap eggs.